out there in television land.
Ele é um gênio da comédia.
Jerry is sane, but, creative people are always a little insane.
E se tornou uma lenda.
Jerry is a big person as well as a big talent.
Mas a longa carreira de Jerry Lewis é um estudo sobre conflito e polêmica.
We all have another side. If you press the wrong button, I'll show you my other side.
You wouldn't look up his name in the dictionary and see diplomatic next to Jerry Lewis.
Com Dean Martin ao seu lado, a dupla dominou os palcos e as telas.
Dean said, "What happened to us? What was that?" I said, "It was magic."
Here is Jerry the diamond, and here is Dean the Tiffany setting.
Ho ho, that's a rich one.
Jerry voou solo e dominou Hollywood sozinho.
He had to be in complete control of everything.
No caminho, o comediante se tornou um defensor incansável de uma legião de crianças deficientes.
No other celebrity has ever done more for a single charitable cause than Jerry Lewis has.
Mas poucos sabiam que Jerry Lewis lutava por sua própria vida.
He said, "You'll be dead in 15 minutes unless we get in there."
Neste programa, Jerry Lewis fala abertamente em uma entrevista reveladora.
He's an egomaniac. He has to do it his way. He's a control freak. He's difficult. I know about all that stuff. And all of it is probably true.
Jerry Lewis fala francamente e não poupa ninguém. Esta é a história dele no A True Hollywood Story.
Her life's ambition was to be a star and get fame. Could not make up for the public
Jerry Lewis.
There must be someone out there that knows what it is to be lonely.
Jerry Lewis conquistou seus risos, mas ao fazê-lo ele passou pelo crivo de Hollywood. Jerry fez tanto sucesso como parte de uma dupla de comediantes, como foi bombardeado pelos críticos. Ele divertiu gerações com sua energia sem fim, mas seu corpo pagou o preço. Jerry inovou como cineasta, mas caiu no ostracismo por seu ego e sua ambição. Ele lutou por sua saúde, incluindo tratamentos que causaram um tremendo aumento de peso. Jerry Lewis sobreviveu a problemas que levariam uma pessoa comum ao desespero e seguiu em frente. New Jersey, anos 20. Artistas famintos trabalhavam na sombra de Nova York, no auge do vaudeville. Entre eles estava Daniel Levitt, um cantor e comediante de nome artístico Danny Lewis. Em 1923, Danny conheceu Ray Brodsky, uma cantora e pianista. O escritor Herbie Glug.
The pops, S.S. Kresge's. She would play the songs, people would gather around by the piano, sing along, and some of them would buy the sheet music. And he talked to her, and they got along.
Em janeiro de 25, Danny e Ray se casaram. Uma família clássica de artistas. Eles viajavam sempre a trabalho, sem tempo para se estabelecerem. Mas logo Ray ficou grávida. No dia 16 de março de 26, nascia Jerry Lewis, ou Joseph Levitt, na cidade de Newark, New Jersey. O parto foi difícil. Deram tanto éter a Ray que Jerry nasceu dormindo, o que preocupou os médicos.
They were going to tap my spine, for whatever the reason, and my grandmother grabbed me and took me out of the hospital. Wouldn't allow it.
Mas o pequeno Jerry acordou e com saúde. Mas os pais não tiveram descanso.
They would do a show for people in the Catskill Mountains we called the Bourse Circuit. They would do a show for this 400 or 500 people in that hotel, like it was the last one they'll ever do in their lives.
Enquanto Danny e Ray viajavam a trabalho, Jerry ia junto.
Little by little, he began to understand what his father was doing. He could hear them through the walls. You know, the trumpets and the trombones and the clapping and the applause.
Joey Levitt não esperou por sua vez. Depois de observar seu pai, ele estreou no palco aos 5 anos. E que estreia!
and then I took a bow, and my foot slipped into the footlight. My foot hit one, and bang, it exploded. Smoke, explosion, and the kid took his first fall in show business. I mean, I got so scared, and I tripped coming out of the footlight hole, and went on my ass, and the laugh was incredible. And that's what I remembered. That laugh. Oh boy.
Jerry queria ficar com os pais em turnê, mas, quando chegou à idade escolar, ele foi deixado com parentes perto de Irvington, New Jersey.
I called myself a FedEx baby. I was with one aunt, with my grandmother, another aunt, then my grandmother, then my aunt, then another aunt. And I missed them very much.
In that period of time, there also became a fear that he had that perhaps the mother and father were away, but maybe they didn't care for him that much.
Jerry se sentiu só, mas ficou amigo de sua avó materna, Sarah Brodsky.
My grandmother had the wisdom of the saints. She was a brilliant lady, and she had taught me to trust my instinct.
O cineasta Peter Bogdanovich descreveu o perfil de Jerry para Vanity Fair.
Virtually all comedy is based on tragedy. Some people go to hell, and other people find a way to survive.
I did it the only way I knew how. Fun. I was mischievous. I played the 9-year-old to the hilt. I did it out at the corner. I did it with my friends. I did it at school.
When he began to cut up in public school, it was to make the kids and the teacher laugh, to hide the pain.
Jerry mal viu os pais na adolescência. No dia mais importante na vida de um menino judeu, Ray e Danny se atrasaram devido a uma apresentação.
It was time for his bar mitzvah, and they didn't appear. It was a crushing blow. Grandma settled him down, reassured him that they were there for him in spirit, that they loved him, and so forth and so on. And that, of course, when you're a juvenile, it's 13, it hurts.
A vovó Sarah era o apoio de Jerry, mas ficou doente. Na primavera de 1940, ela faleceu.
I wasn't going to sit and brood or grieve because she would not have liked that.
Mas não foram dias fáceis para Jerry, nem para nenhum outro judeu em Everton.
It was the hotbed of the Nazi Bund.
And they would march every year. There'd be a parade with the Nazi flags being waved on the streets, along with the American flag.
Jerry via antissemitismo em todo lugar, até mesmo na escola.
I'm 13 years old, and I was called to the principal's office.
He said, "What is it with you Jews?" And before he could add another word, Jerry popped him.
My reflexes, I didn't plan on it, but I hit him one of the great shots that anyone could ever throw, a 6-inch right here.
Jerry foi expulso e forçado a estudar em uma escola vocacional, mas ele já tinha uma carreira em vista, a de artista. Em 41, Jerry viajou até as montanhas Catskills com Jenny e Ray. Os amigos Charles e Lillian Brown eram donos do Hotel Ambassador e Jerry foi logo trabalhar.
I had been a busboy. My dad got me the job, and playing ball one day I slid into second and I broke my arm, so I couldn't work. There was nothing for me to do, so I sat in the social hall playing records and mouthing, and all of a sudden I had an act, and I was very good at it.
It was a natural compulsion to try to develop a way to entertain people while he was working. So he'd drop a tray of dishes, everybody would jump up.
Jerry gostava de se apresentar e adorava fazer rir. Ele logo abandonou a escola. Joe Levitt mudou seu nome para Jerry Lewis e foi para Nova York. Em 42, Jerry foi contratado por um jovem agente chamado Abby Gressler. Ele arrumou apresentações para Jerry em pequenos clubes. Em agosto de 44, enquanto trabalhava em Detroit, Jerry conheceu a cantora Patty Palmer.
Patty was a Catholic girl from Detroit, came from a very poor family.
Jerry se apaixonou por Patty e logo a pediu em casamento.
Ray and Danny Lewis heard about this, that he was going with this Catholic girl. And they were very, to say the least, they were disappointed.
Jerry e Perry se casaram em outubro de 44. Eram tempos difíceis para um jovem casal. Jerry não estava tendo sorte na carreira. Perry fazia o melhor para sustentar os dois, cantando na banda de Jimmy Dorsey. Em julho de 45, ela deu à luz a um filho, Gary. Aos 19 anos, Jerry Lewis era um pai, e um pai de família sem uma carreira. Foi quando ele conseguiu um trabalho no Hotel Belmont, em Manhattan. E sua vida e sua carreira mudaram para sempre.
He saw a guy come off the elevator. He took one look at this fellow and, oh my God, what a handsome stocker. This Perry saw God walking off the elevator. Patent leather shoes and an attitude.
We walked by one another in the lobby. There's that poster of me outside the glass hat, and he says, "Are you that guy?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Hi, I'm Dean Martin. How are you?"
I wanted to be an actor. My father said, if you ever get in trouble, take a...
A seguir, Martin e Lewis sobem no palco.
Sex and slapstick. And that's what the two of them represented.
E depois, os problemas de Jim.
He let me think he was okay. I couldn't deal with it.
Jerry Lewis. Nos anos 40, Jerry Lewis enfrentou uma infância solitária e lutou para vencer como um jovem comediante. Mas ele logo conheceria um parceiro que seria seu companheiro de palco e o irmão que ele nunca teve. Em 46, Jerry buscava trabalho para sustentar sua família. Em março daquele ano, Jerry dividiu o palco com Jim Martin, um belo cantor que ele conheceu um ano antes. Jim cresceu em Stouffville, Ohio.
We were accidentally booked on the same show at the Havana, Madrid. He was one of the acts and I was one of the acts. And we had a great time appearing with one another on the same show, but never ever doing anything theatrically together during that time.
Jerry se aproveitou da experiência nas montanhas Catskills e começou a interromper Jim com piadas. Os dois tinham uma química incrível. Em julho daquele ano, Jerry conseguiu um trabalho no famoso 500 Club em Atlantic City. Na primeira semana, um cantor ficou doente. O dono do clube, Skin D'Amato, precisava preencher a vaga.
Skinny came to me and said, "You have any suggestions?" I said, "Yeah, why don't you get Dean Martin?"
The owners of the club were a little bit leery, you know, they never heard of him before. Who's Dean Martin?
He said, "Well, that's just another singer. We'll have the same kind of problems." I said, "No, you won't. He does some funny stuff with me. I mean, you'd have the benefit of his act and mine, and then when we're together." He said, "Great, I'll bring him in."
Jim e Jerry se apresentaram, mas separadamente. Skinny não ficou impressionado.
He said, "Where's that funny stuff you guys are going to do?" I said, "I didn't have a chance to talk to Dean about it." He said, "Well, you got 2 hours now. Talk to him, or you'll see what cement shoes are." Not literally, but that's what he meant.
Jerry rapidamente pensou em algo para o show.
I wrote bits that I remember from burlesque and what I saw my dad do, and stuff I knew I could do.
Naquela noite, Jim Martin e Jerry Lewis subiram ao palco juntos pela primeira vez.
I knew we had lightning in a bottle. I knew it right away. Dean didn't have the faintest idea what happened. He just said, "What happened to us? What was that?" I said, "It was magic."
Jim e Jerry fizeram piadas do público, um do outro, e quebraram todas as regras de uma apresentação tradicional. Jim era o galã, o contraste perfeito para a comédia de Jerry. Juntos, eles eram um sucesso.
People were lined up on the boardwalk in Atlantic City for half a mile, trying to get into that club.
He was getting 125 a week, I was getting 125 a week. And in 8 weeks, we're getting 5,000.
Nos anos 40, $5.000 por semana era muito dinheiro. E era quanto Jim e Jerry ganhavam para manter a casa lotada em todos os shows. Mas eles tinham um método.
I was 6 feet and he was 6 feet. We began in Atlantic City. One day I snuck his tuck shoes out and put lifts on them so that I could crouch better. It looked like that when we worked. And people thought it was the kid, the little guy. What little guy? I'm just as tall as him. But it worked.
O agente de Jerry, Abby Gressler, contratou Jim Martin e os dois se tornaram uma dupla formalizada. Separados, eles eram talentosos, mas juntos eram imbatíveis.
Sex and slapstick. And that's what the two of them represented. Dean being sex and Jerry being slapstick. And nobody's ever seen that with two guys before.
The secret of it was that here's two men who adored one another. He was my hero. I was the kid that he loved because I was so 9-year-old. And it touched a wonderful funny bone in his body, the kid in me. No one laughed more than Dean did when I did anything.
Em 47, Martin e Lewis deslumbraram Atlantic City, mas quando foram se apresentar em Manhattan, eram totalmente desconhecidos para os nova-iorquinos. Mas por pouco tempo. No dia 8 de abril de 48, Gene e Jerry estrearam no famoso Copacabana. Martin e Lewis conquistaram a cidade, atraindo multidões por onde passavam. O público adorava a dupla, mesmo tendo dificuldade em explicar o porquê.
I mean, guys used to go to Lindy's after the Copa show and they'd say, "Did you see them? Yeah. What do they do?" Well, the little guy, the handsome, it's a handsome guy and a monkey. That's all I can tell you.
They weren't being constricted by by a skit, a written skit. They just sort of did their own things, you know, and very instinctual, and ran around the audience and, you know, ate people's steaks and cut people's ties. And it was really hell's a poppin', you know, in the nightclub.
Em agosto, Jim e Jerry foram se apresentar na Costa Oeste. Eles estrearam em Hollywood no conhecido Max's Café.
Every star in Hollywood, and that was our ringside every night that we were there. We were there for 4 weeks of absolute pandemonium.
A dupla logo recebia propostas de todos os grandes estúdios.
I said Paramount, because I was an usher at the Paramount, and because I know the studio. I know everything there.
Gene e Jerry assinaram um contrato de 2 filmes com a Paramount e com um produtor exigente chamado Hal Wells. Martin e Lewis se mudaram com suas famílias para Hollywood. No final de 48, o casamento de Gene, Betty, Martin ia mal. Martin e Lewis eram um sucesso no palco, mas a mudança para o cinema foi complicada. O filme de estreia deles seria uma versão de um programa de rádio popular, My Friend Irma. O teste de Gene foi bom, mas Jerry não o convenceu no papel de galã.
It was arguably the worst piece of garbage you ever saw. Taking this 20-year-old crazy bastard and locking him into wearing a fedora hat, a suit and tie, and he says, "Listen, chicken, you do what Al tells you, and we're gonna be home." I didn't talk that way when I wasn't talking like that, you know. What happened to the kid?
Os executivos do estúdio fizeram as mesmas perguntas e ameaçaram cortar Jerry do filme.
I went to see Wallace and I said, "Listen, let me make one pass at this. Let me bring you a character." And I wrote a character, Seymour. We shot the test. Everyone at Paramount went nuts. They said, "That's the answer." What I did was take the guys at the Copa and put them in white jackets, put them behind the fountain. He's the boss and I'm the kid.
Gene e Jerry faziam cada vez mais shows. Em dezembro de 48, Martin e Lewis se apresentaram no clube Beachcomber, em Miami. Na véspera do ano novo, Gene conheceu a modelo Jeannie Biggers. O casamento de Gene ainda não havia acabado, mas quando ele viu Jeannie, foi amor à primeira vista. Em março, Betty Martin pediu o divórcio.
I was in Florida and he was in California. And then a telegram came one day, said, "I love you, tickets on the way. And will you marry me?" That was it. You know? So, of course, I caught the first plane.
Os Lewises e os Martins chegaram juntos no topo em Hollywood. Betty ficou com pena de Betty, mas Jerry insistiu em se manter fiel ao amigo. No dia 1º de setembro de 49, Gene e Jeannie se casaram em Beverly Hills. Jerry foi o padrinho.
And then Jerry, of course, went into the pool, dove into the pool with his clothes and did, you know, some shtick. And then we got in a car. Jerry came with us. we went to Del Mar for a 2-day honeymoon.
Naquele mês, My Friend Irma estreou na Paramount em Nova York. O filme foi um sucesso. Os críticos elogiaram a performance de Jerry.
A male seal, a female seal, both together,
Mas praticamente ignoraram Jim.
Lewis's show, Martin is pleasant. That's the only mention in the review. Lewis is the funniest thing in the picture. He's a wild conglomeration of insanity and great body language. Not another mention of my partner.
Jim pareceu indiferente ao desprezo. Nos bastidores, ele deixou que seu ambicioso parceiro tomasse conta dos negócios. Jerry bolou planos para que a dupla voasse ainda mais alto. A seguir, problemas no paraíso.
The handwriting was on the wall. Couldn't hang in there with Jerry.
Jerry Lewis. No fim dos anos 40, Jim Martin e Jerry conquistaram o país. O público se apaixonou por dois opostos, um galã conquistador e um corajoso comediante. No palco, Martin Lewis era uma combinação perfeita, mas nos bastidores era outra história. Jim e Jerry continuaram a fazer filmes, mas nada se comparava à energia deles no palco.
I remember Orson Welles telling me that he had seen them, Orson had seen them in a nightclub, and he says, you can't believe, he said, you can't believe how funny they were. I mean, people would pee their pants.
They were out of their minds trying to figure out what the hell is it? How could an audience laugh for 90 minutes to 100 minutes at these two guys?
A atriz Janet Leigh.
Dean and Jerry were completely different personalities, obviously. The chemistry just worked. Together, they just sort of were combustible.
Em 1950, Martin Lewis estrearam um programa de comédia na NBC. Jim e Jerry entravam nos lares americanos todos os domingos. Foi um outro sucesso.
When things go wrong, or when Jerry suddenly or Dean suddenly ad-libs something and breaks the other one up, that is like, it just is heaven.
What is he, one of your Italian friends? No. Now, you listen, we didn't rehearse that.
Nos bastidores, o estilo relaxado de Jim complementava a ambição de Jerry.
He immediately showed his respect for my theatrical know-how. And whatever I would ever tell Dean, he never ever questioned it if it was theatrical.
Jerry sort of organized the thing. And Dean would defer to Jerry in when they were making deals. So Jerry was sort of running the show, early on.
Jerry tinha grandes planos, mas Martin e Lewis não eram completamente independentes. Eles tinham um contrato com o produtor Hal Wallis. Não demorou até que Lewis e Wallis se confrontassem.
Jerry backed off finally, because he knew Hal Wallis was the producer. You don't screw around with the producer. You get canned. Like that.
Mas Jerry continuou a conversar com poderosos em Hollywood. Lewis e Martin se sentiram presos ao contrato com o agente deles, Abbey Gressler. Depois de algumas batalhas legais, a MCA Management comprou o contrato de Gressler e passou a representar a dupla. Martin e Lewis queriam mais.
When I was a little kid in school, and I wanted to be an actor, my father said, if you ever get in trouble, take a fall. What happened to the crowd?
A comediante Phyllis Diller.
He was the comic one, and of course Dean was the foil, we all know that. And no one realized what a terrific singer Dean was, and what a fabulous foil he was for this brilliant comic. You see, here is Jerry the diamond, and here is Dean the Tiffany setting. Jerry wouldn't have looked that good without Dean. It was one of those magic combinations.
Gene e Jerry eram um time, mas devido à sua energia e personalidade, Jerry ganhava mais atenção.
He would do just about anything for a laugh, And that's what made him so extraordinarily funny, is that he really went too far.
Well, there was no question about how good I was at that time. The question here was, why didn't anyone see that I'd have been probably worthless without really the magic of the twosome, which was Dean.
Ninguém podia negar o charme natural de Jim Martin. Mas, para o público e para a crítica, ele foi ofuscado pela habilidade cômica de Jerry.
I couldn't handle the injustice that this goddamn man, who is the best of his kind in the history of show business, the best straight man you ever saw, who, when he chose, would be funnier than anyone you ever saw.
Se Jim Martin ficou abalado, jamais demonstrou. Martin mantinha sua imagem de galã inabalável, enquanto Jerry atropelava Hollywood.
Terrific the way you sing those songs. If the moon hits your eye like a gefilte fish, that's a more. I like that. All right.
Em casa, Jerry e Patty queriam expandir a família. Depois de várias tentativas de ter outro filho, eles adotaram um menino, Ronald Lewis, em julho de 50. No ano seguinte, Jerry iniciou uma aliança duradoura com a Associação contra a Distrofia Muscular. Martin e Lewis mencionaram a instituição durante uma aparição na TV.
This is the envelope that Dean and I would like for you to fill, with as much as you possibly can spare.
O diretor de informações públicas da Associação contra a Distrofia Muscular, Bob McCall.
Nobody knew what the Muscular Dystrophy Association was. Nobody even knew what muscular dystrophy was at the time. So just the fact that these two huge stars would go on TV and make an appeal for something had a big impact on people.
Jerry tentou derrotar a distrofia muscular, mas jamais revelou suas razões pessoais para defender a causa.
All Jerry will say is that it's not important that people know why, it's just important that they know that he's out there working hard and he's doing it.
Martin e Lewis pareciam se apresentar 24 horas por dia, se apresentando no palco, na TV e no cinema. Mas o ritmo frenético começou a desgastá-los. Jerry queria mais controle.
He wanted to direct, write, produce, star, the whole deal. And he was moving in that direction almost immediately.
Jerry ficou fascinado pelos aspectos técnicos da cinegrafia. Ele colecionava equipamentos de filmagem e som e até abriu uma loja de câmeras em Los Angeles.
Time you open?
9 o'clock in the morning.
I'll be here at 8:30.
Developing pictures?
No, right next to you, smearing your cameras with mustard.
Jerry gravava filmes caseiros elaborados com amigos famosos como Tony Curtis e Janet Leigh. Ele dava o nome de Gar Run Productions em homenagem aos filhos dele.
Jerry was training for this business, for the movie industry. He was editing, he was directing, he was writing, he was starring in.
It was wonderful. I had world premieres in my own home, in my playhouse, where we sat 300 people in tuxes with Klieg lights in my backyard.
It was studied and carefully thought out, even though it was a funny little home movie.
A ambição de Jerry não tinha fim. Ele estava ofuscando seu parceiro e a imprensa de Hollywood começou rumores sobre o fim da dupla.
I swear to God, I wanted more for him than I did for me. I loved him that much. And at that age, I don't think I was really selfless. I think I was still pretty selfish about what's best for me.
O escritor Bill Richmond.
The handwriting was on the wall. You couldn't hang in there with Jerry, or they couldn't hang together, I'll put it that way.
A seguir, o fim de um time. O fim de uma era.
But probably the saddest moment of his entire life.
Jerry Lewis. Em 54, Jim Martin e Jerry Lewis estavam no auge em Hollywood. Mas os anos de apresentações começaram a desgastar a dupla. Jim foi ofuscado pela personalidade de Jerry e Lewis queria maior controle. Ele queria ser um cineasta. Apesar dos rumores de que estariam se separando, Martin e Lewis produziram vários novos filmes. Os objetivos profissionais de Jerry causaram um conflito no relacionamento com Dean. Em uma entrevista em 65, Lewis falou sobre os tempos turbulentos.
I began to want to do more things. I was hoping that Dean would live by the standards that I set for myself. I had no right to expect him to do that. At that time, I really was terribly hurt because I said we should now go and do this for our career, and he didn't concur.
Em junho de 55, as diferenças entre Martin e Lewis chegaram ao máximo. O velho amigo de Jerry, dos Catskills, Charles Brown, convidou a dupla para um lançamento de gala do filme deles, You're Never Too Young. Jerry ficou empolgado em poder voltar como herói, onde começou, mas Dean ficou indiferente. Quando Dean não compareceu, Jerry ficou devastado. Lewis procurou o gerente da MCA para a separação. Mas, devido aos contratos que assinaram, Jerry e Dean cessaram fogo e continuaram trabalhando juntos.
We don't stop to speak, though it's been a week.
I should speak to you after the torment and anguish I've gone through. Ho, ho, that's a rich one.
How can love like ours be ended?
Em fevereiro de 56, Pat Lewis deu à luz a um terceiro filho, Scott. Jerry era pai mais uma vez, mas ele ainda estava ocupado no cinema. No mês seguinte, Dean e Jerry começaram a rodar o filme Hollywood or Bust, e a tensão aumentou.
Dean once told me, he says, the only line they ever gave him in the movies was, they went that way, Jerry. That was it, you know. He was the ultimate straight man. He hated that. He hated being a straight man. He was able to swallow all that crap until he couldn't swallow it anymore. And I knew that was happening. I'm the guy that broke it up. If anyone was to blame, it was me.
Martin e Lewis eram a dupla mais famosa do mundo, mas Dean e Jerry estavam se separando.
The love affair between the two men has been splintered by whatever the reason, but it can't be what it was. And I said specifically to our attorneys, we don't want to get knocked through the ropes like Joe Louis. Let us quit while we're champions.
No dia 24 de julho de 56, 10 anos depois de se unirem, Dean Martin e Jerry Lewis se apresentaram pela última vez juntos no Copacabana.
When the show was over and they hugged and said goodbye, I know Jerry went to the Hotel 14, which was right next door, and with his entourage, and it was a very emotional thing.
That was probably the saddest moment of his entire life. Had a great partnership. All of that success was now over, and he didn't know what to do with his life.
Jerry ficou ansioso. Ele tinha de moldar sua carreira sem Dean. Em agosto, ele foi de férias a Las Vegas com Patty. Jerry pôde relaxar um pouco, até que o telefone tocou.
Judy Garland was appearing at the Frontier, and Sid Luft, her husband, called me and said, we're in big trouble. Can you come and help us? I said, come and help you do what? He said, well, if you could help us, Judy's throat is so bad she can't go on. Can you? I said, to do what? I said, didn't you hear Dean and I are not together? He said, yeah, I know, but certainly you can do something.
Jerry subiu no palco sozinho pela primeira vez desde que era adolescente.
I was scared shitless. Let me rephrase that. I was scared out of my gourd to walk out there, not knowing what the hell to do. I do not know what I did, but I had the audience hysterical. And they were great, and I was supposed to be very good.
Jerry foi um sucesso e decidiu não perder o embalo. Ele mergulhou na produção de 2 filmes, The Sad Sack e The Delicate Delinquent.
I don't go to the electric chair with the Oh, that's terrible.
Longe das telas, ele continuou a apoiar a Associação contra a Distrofia Muscular. Em 57, Danny Lewis se juntou ao filho em uma das maratonas televisivas. Jerry continuou ligado aos pais, mas o sucesso dele às vezes causava problemas. Danny se apresentou em clubes por anos, mas nunca chegou perto do sucesso do filho.
You're a fancy singer, boy.
Em outubro de 57, Jerry e Patty tiveram o quarto filho, Christopher Joseph. Poucos meses depois, a família Lewis se mudou para uma mansão em Bel Air.
On the door it says our home is open to sunshine, friends, and God. That's the way you feel when you come into our house. It's not a mistake. It's someone's home.
Jerry Lewis, o príncipe dos palhaços do país, morava na mansão de um magnata do cinema. Ele logo teria uma carreira semelhante. A seguir, Jerry assume o controle.
Jerry is sane, but, you know, creative people are always a little insane.
Jerry Lewis. No fim dos anos 50, Jerry Lewis era um dos astros que mais faturava em Hollywood. A seguir, Jerry reescreve as regras da cinegrafia, levando os que trabalhavam com ele ao extremo. Quase todos os projetos de Lewis eram sucesso garantido, mas Jerry nem sempre tinha o toque de Midas. Em 57 e 58, ele produziu uma série de especiais para a TV que não tiveram boa audiência. Os críticos foram implacáveis com os novos trabalhos de Jerry no cinema e também na televisão.
He always had a mouth on him. And there was a period of his life where, you know, he just didn't take anything from anybody.
Jerry is a very self-conscious guy. He's a grandstander. He's not a perfect person, and he often gets in trouble with the things that he says.
I mean, it's quite natural, you know, when you do movies, that somebody's going to blast them, especially those movies. I mean, those movies, we're not talking about On the Waterfront here. We're talking about crazy comedy. Unfortunately, Jerry talks back to them. He says, what do they know? They get a free ticket, so well, who cares what they think?
Mas Jerry se importava. A atitude durona do comediante não durou tanto. Jerry atacou seus críticos em público.
I'm trying desperately to just dismiss them. I think that I would love them with a complete warm affection if they were kinder to me. But since they haven't been kind, I cannot feel it in my heart to love them. I don't.
A série de Jerry na NBC foi cancelada em 58. Jerry continuou a fazer filmes desgastando-se física e mentalmente. No fim do ano, ele cumpriu seu contrato com o produtor Hal Wallis. Jerry estava livre para produzir seus próprios projetos e para controlar seu destino em Hollywood.
He had to be in complete control of everything.
Em 58, Jerry assinou um contrato sem precedentes com a Paramount Pictures. 10 milhões por 14 filmes em 7 anos.
He's a very, very sharp businessman and a great salesman. And also he's very aware of who he is.
Lewis, o magnata do cinema, teve de arrumar tempo para ser pai. Em outubro de 59, Patty deu à luz a outro filho, Anthony. Em poucos dias, o orgulhoso papai e viciado em trabalho estava no set do novo filme, Cinderella. Mais uma vez, Jerry chegou ao limite.
He was just going into a scene. They said, Mr. Lewis, please, and they called him. He had to run up this large staircase, you know. So he went all the way up the stairs, and at the top of it, he toppled over. Everybody on the set was just aghast by the event.
Como sempre, Jerry voltou ao set naquela tarde. A produção de Cinderella terminou em janeiro de 60.
I'm having lunch with Barney Balaban, a top dog at Paramount. And I said, Barney, they're telling me you want to release Cinderella in the summer. He said, we have to have a Jerry Lewis picture in the summer. I said, but Barney, you knew how I made that. I made it as a family film for Christmas. I mean, it's all directed at family. He said, we got to have a Jerry Lewis movie in the summer. I said, what if I give you one?
Jerry iria se apresentar no Hotel Fontainebleau, em Miami Beach. Ele logo conseguiu conciliar seu calendário de filmes e apresentações. O filme seria rodado no hotel e seria a estreia de Jerry como diretor.
I opened at the Fontainebleau on the 4th, appearing in the main room. On the third, I started to write The Bellboy.
Para um artista e cineasta, The Bellboy foi um trabalho de Hércules. A Paramount não aprovou a ideia de Jerry, então ele mesmo bancou o filme. Jerry ditou as regras e também foi o ator principal. A situação levou a problemas frustrantes e uma solução incomum.
In order to watch himself perform, he added a little television camera to the movie camera. And everybody said, oh, he's crazy.
Jerry criou um sistema onde ele podia assistir às tomadas instantaneamente e rever suas próprias cenas. A invenção revolucionou a cinegrafia. Lewis encerrou a produção de The Bellboy e voltou para Hollywood como o rei da Paramount.
He had a sign on the door, say, visitors welcome, come on in. And people were coming in so much that he put bleachers on the set.
I'd always have 200-300 visitors sitting there. Then members of my crew would slide over towards the people because they were hams. Well, what do? Well, I'm the key grip. I'm not like those other grips.
He was in the most beautiful and largest dressing room that Paramount had ever made for anybody. And he had meetings about his next pictures and what was doing with the pictures that were out there in the movies. He was busy with his wife, his children. He was busy with everything.
O próximo filme dele, The Ladies' Man, usou um gigantesco cenário de 3 andares. Lewis distribuía atenção e presentes à sua equipe, assim como tarefas.
Jerry is a big person as well as a big talent, and I think that the two overlap in many instances. He's a person and has all the frailties that everyone does.
Tough to be a movie star, tough to be that popular, people don't realize what that means, that kind of attention, that kind of success and power. That's, it would throw a sane person. And Jerry is sane, but, creative people are always a little insane.
It may not be the popular thing to be a perfectionist, but if you are one, you're trapped. It isn't something you can give up. You have to be absolutely tunnel vision, and you have to focus on the work. So you're not socially polite to the lady that's visiting. So you don't bend and bow or scrape to this wealthy millionaire with his visitors on the set. They either come up with he's a snob or he's difficult.
624.5.
Hold it. Okay, thank you.
Difícil ou perfeccionista, Jerry era incansável. Seus filmes eram um sucesso de bilheteria e ele tinha um grande estúdio na palma da mão.
Everything I did with Paramount had no paper. We had a handshake. Barney Ballerman and I shook hands. They gave me everything I wanted on my 40th birthday. Barney Ballerman, in front of 500 people in Bel Air, said, we need you to tell us what you want. I said, let me have my negatives after 30 years.
And he made a deal that he owned the negative of those films, so that they reverted to him after 30 years, which was a very smart deal.
Jerry podia fazer qualquer filme render, mas ainda não havia criado uma obra de arte. Para o próximo filme, Jerry queria fazer uma versão cômica de O Médico e o Monstro.
To play 2 roles is, the greatest thing in the world for especially a comedian.
All people would love all people to embrace them. But I believe that we all have another side. If you press the wrong button, I'll show you my other side. It's not one I love, but it's one that's there if I need to totally protect the other side. Every man and woman on the planet has it.
Jerry trabalhou com Bill Richmond e escreveu 8 versões do roteiro. Ele logo começou a rodar o filme The Nutty Professor.
I knew it could be good, and it was great for Jerry because, and you got to understand, I'm not schizophrenic, but when I write, I'm writing for him, and I know him better than anybody.
Jerry era o Dr. Julius Kelp, um homem doce, mas socialmente inapto, que se transformava em Buddy Love, um playboy inveterado. Jerry fez os 2 papéis.
He goes in his portable dressing room on the stage, closes the door, wardrobe and makeup went in there with him, and all of a sudden, from inside there, he says, roll them, and very serious. Okay. rolling. He opens his dressing room door and came out as Buddy Love.
The Nutty Professor chegou aos cinemas em 63. O filme foi um sucesso. Até os críticos elogiaram. Embora alguns insinuassem que o papel de Buddy Love foi inspirado no antigo parceiro Jim Martin.
There are people in the press, and especially the Hollywood press, who are trying to make something, and they made that up. I never really believed it.
I mean, how could you think that my love for him turned to that?
Em 63, ninguém parecia poder deter. Ele ia cada vez mais longe, ao ponto de arriscar a própria carreira. A seguir, Jerry cai.
I landed right on it. And I felt the paralysis immediately.
E depois?
He became an addict. Percodan is addictive.
Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis era conhecido no mundo todo como um artista que faria qualquer coisa para arrancar uma risada. Mas Hollywood o conhecia como um perfeccionista. Se indagava até quando o comediante conseguiria se manter firme. Durante a produção de Nutty Professor, Jerry assinou um contrato lucrativo com a NBC para um programa de TV. Em 63, Jerry transformou o teatro El Captain em um estúdio de TV de última geração.
I was so busy in getting the proper facilities and fixing and making it the kind of perfection I think our business warrants, I forgot the show. I forgot a minor thing called Get Funny.
O Jerry Lewis Show estreou em setembro de 63 com vários problemas técnicos e um apresentador desconfortável. O programa foi um desastre.
My 2-hour television show is something that I think there are 1,000 places I could blame it on, but I think in the end result I have to blame it on myself.
Os críticos atacaram o programa e a audiência caiu. Em poucas semanas foi cancelado. Depois do fracasso na TV, Jerry mergulhou na produção de um novo filme, The Patsy. Enquanto Jerry dominava Hollywood, Patty mantinha a casa em ordem.
I didn't hear her ever complain about the number of people staying for dinner. She was a really good sport about that. And I'm sure that being married to Jerry was a handful.
A família Lewis cresceu ainda mais. Em janeiro de 64, Patty teve outro filho, Joseph. O sucesso era coisa de família. Em dezembro de 64, o filho mais velho de Jerry, Gary Lewis, lançou a música This Diamond Ring, com sua banda, os Playboys. A música foi um sucesso. Enquanto Gary chegava ao topo das paradas, o pai dele continuava sua carreira de sucesso. Mas a base da sua comédia, sua habilidade física, desgastou seu corpo.
I was doing tremendous injury to my spine, not knowing it. The pain was coming and going. It was livable. It was okay. Then it got bad. And up through until 1965, I'd been suffering with pretty good back pain. But, you know, the adrenaline takes over. You go out on stage and bang, you take the fall. It's wonderful. You don't even feel it.
Jerry subiu ao palco do Sands Hotel em Las Vegas no dia 20 de março de 65.
I was finishing the show by doing a flip off the piano into a split, and then I scream, "Oh my God, I've cut it in half," or whatever, and I would have the two stagehands come on and carry me off in the split. And that would be it. I did 2 hours, and that's how I finished the show. This night, I did it, and the mic cable, which is connected with a cannon plug, which is steel inserts, I landed right on it. And I felt the paralysis immediately. And the mic is on the floor, and I leaned over and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, the laughing is over. I think I'm in trouble. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you again."
Foi a pior queda da carreira de Jerry. Ele fraturou a coluna e machucou um nervo nas costas. A dor era insuportável e ele foi levado ao hospital.
The pain was so severe that he put me on Percodan. I took one Percodan in the morning, and I was good. God damn it, I was good all day.
Depois de quase 2 décadas no topo, as falhas na vida profissional de Jerry começaram a aparecer. O custo dos filmes dele excediam as projeções de bilheteria. Em julho de 65, houve uma mudança na direção da Paramount Pictures.
Paramount New York sent word that they're bringing papers to my office for our deal. That they do not regard the handshakes as a commitment. I said, well, when are you people going to bring those papers here? They said in the next 2-3 days. I said, fine. I ordered a Beacon's van and we moved off the lot. Never gave them the fucking papers.
Jerry passou alguns anos pulando de estúdio em estúdio. Ele estreou uma série de filmes. Nenhum deles se equiparou ao sucesso que ele alcançou na Paramount. Em novembro de 69, Lewis começou a filmar seu 40º filme, Which Way to the Front?
For 2 years of a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, it was a labor of love, and then it was distributed, and it was in and out kind of quick. Well, that didn't bother me so much. I was driving in the valley one night to see my son. I see the marquee, Which Way to the Front? Jerry Lewis's new film, and it was double billed with Deep Throat.
Jerry ficou surpreso. Which Way to the Front foi fracasso nos Estados Unidos. Lewis ficou decepcionado com Hollywood. Na era Vietnã, a comédia no país havia mudado. Jerry se viu isolado.
I said, hey, let me get back to Vegas. I'll play concerts. I'll go back to the Palladium in London. I'll do my thing and so on. And I said, it's got to turn. If it doesn't turn, at that point, I really didn't ever want to make a film again.
Jerry se sentiu abandonado por Hollywood, mas algo estranho aconteceu no exterior. Which Way to the Front quebrou recordes de bilheteria na Europa.
The acclaim that I've received in Europe has been on both levels, the comic and the director.
Quem mais apoiava Jerry eram os cinéfilos franceses. Eles consideravam Jerry Lewis um gênio, o que virou uma piada nos Estados Unidos.
Americans tend to turn rather savagely on things that they love after they've finished loving them. It's a cycle that happens a lot in America more than it does anywhere else. It's this whole idea of the disposable society.
Na Europa, Jerry era considerado um cineasta excepcional. Nos Estados Unidos, ele era considerado um palhaço decadente, cujos filmes eram feitos para crianças. Mas Lewis sabia que não tinha chegado ao fim. A seguir, Gene e Jerry juntos novamente.
So how you been?
Jerry Lewis. No fim dos anos 60, a carreira cinematográfica de Jerry Lewis ia mal. Nos anos seguintes, ele voltou suas atenções para outros investimentos, mesmo tendo um vício extremamente debilitante. Os filmes de Jerry perdiam popularidade, mas seu conhecimento como cineasta ainda era valioso. Em 69, Jerry adicionou outro título ao seu currículo: professor universitário. Jerry ensinou cinema na prestigiosa escola de cinema da USC, onde cruzava com outro magnata do cinema.
I had some pretty good people in there. I mean, Steven Spielberg wanted to just show us a film of his called Amblin. And I had known Steven. I'd met him on a couple of occasions at the university, and I met him once at an agent's office. But anyhow, I said, I'd be happy to look at it. And he ran it for the class, and it was just incredible. Needless to say, you know where he went.
Lewis via seus alunos conquistarem Hollywood, enquanto sua própria carreira estagnava. Mas Jerry não ficou parado. Em 70, ele ajudou a transformar a Associação contra a Distrofia Muscular e sua maratona televisiva em um evento. Todos os anos, a maratona era um programa repleto de estrelas e sempre gerando fundos para a obra de caridade.
No other celebrity has ever done more for a single charitable cause than Jerry Lewis has. No one even comes close. He took an organization and a disease that no one had ever heard of and made them household names.
Please just take a moment, ladies and gentlemen, to meet some of my kids. They're from all over the country, and they're wonderful, and they really need your help.
Jerry entrava nos lares americanos durante o feriado no Dia do Trabalho. Ele cantava, dançava, fazia piadas e convidava amigos famosos para se juntar a ele. Mas em 76, Jerry recebeu uma surpresa que mudou a história do entretenimento.
People tuned in just to watch his show. And of course you got to see Frank Sinatra and lots of other huge stars would come on to his show to help him out.
Frank and I, and Dean and I, were very close friends, but never as a threesome. When Frank and I would go and do something together, Dean wasn't going to do anything. If Dean and Frank were going to do something, I would stay away.
Jerry Lewis e Dean Martin não dividiam palco há 20 anos.
Frank decided it was about time. Because he heard his moans about, I miss the kid. He heard my moans, I hope Dean's okay.
I have a friend who loves what you do every year and who just wanted to come out and say, would you send my friend out, please? Where is he? Would you send him out here? Come here.
I thought I'd have a heart attack. I see this handsome ox walk out.
You could see Jerry saying, you know, under his breath, "You son of a bitch." And Dean kind of looking, not completely sure of that he was doing the right thing, but doing it anyway, and sort of paternal, and hugged him, and they hugged each other. It was a great moment.
All I remember saying was, "Dear God, give me something to say."
So how you been?
Jerry came out with that line, Dean was thrown. And after a couple of beats, you could see Dean, you know, had enough of it, because it threw him into a position that he had avoided for 20 years, which is where Jerry was getting the laughs and he was the straight man again.
Martin e Lewis se reuniram apenas por alguns momentos. Dean e Jerry colocaram as diferenças de lado, mas uma reunião definitiva não estava nos planos.
Well, you know, there was all those rumors about our breaking up, and then when I started the show and you weren't here, I believed it.
Jerry lutou para ajudar pacientes de distrofia muscular, mas ele acabaria lutando pela própria vida. Jerry começou a usar o analgésico Percodan em 65 para combater a dor nas costas. A droga passou a fazer parte da vida dele.
From one Percodan it'd be 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15. He became an addict. Percodan is addictive.
I'm in London doing Royal Command Performance. And I have a bookie who takes my bets for horse races in London. And I told him my problem, that England doesn't have what I need, and I'm running out. He said, "It's okay, I'll get a bloke for you." Okay. He tells me that if I go to Green's Delicatessen in Soho at midnight after my show, a man will come over to me and bring me 10 Percodan. He said, "Just bring cash." I said, "Fine." He brought me 10. I gave him $1,000. I had the 10 Percodan that only took me through 3/4 of the next day. That's how bad it was. So I'm getting in terrible trouble now because the Percodan is not even working.
Em 78, Jerry foi a Houston visitar seu amigo, o cirurgião Michael Tvrip.
I go to Houston to help a friend. My conductor, Jack Eglash, who's been with me for years, had migraines that were so devastating that he wanted to kill himself.
Jerry convenceu seu amigo a acompanhá-lo na visita ao Dr. Tvrip. Até aquele dia, Jerry escondia seu vício em Percodan.
I walk out with Michael and I collapse in the hallway. And blood came from every opening I had. Eyes, nose, ears, name it. Blood flow like the goddamn dike opened up. What had happened was that the Percodan was concealing the pain of a grapefruit ulcer. They had me in surgery like in 20 minutes. I was bleeding to death.
Depois da cirurgia, o Dr. Tvrip cortou o analgésico de Jerry.
When they prevented me from dying, Michael put me into a 21-day program of detoxification. Had I not taken my friend to help him, I wouldn't be here now.
A seguir.
What a performance! Performance, my ass! I didn't do anything but just be me.
Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis enfrentou duros problemas nos anos 70. Ele combateu um vício em analgésicos e sua carreira cinematográfica estava estagnada. Ele queria voltar ao cinema, mas foi mais difícil do que ele imaginava. Durante anos, Jerry e sua esposa Patty enfrentaram tempos difíceis. Eles criaram uma família e partilhavam uma vida. Mas os problemas se acumularam e Patty e Jerry começaram a se afastar. Em uma entrevista em 81, Lewis falou sobre o fim do casamento.
I can't sit here and tell you that my concerns are my children, my wife, my career, or a variety of other things. I'm first. I come first. The day I was born, they cut the cord and they gave me the pink slip and it said, you own this.
Jerry queria ressuscitar sua carreira no cinema. Em 79, ele começou a produção de Hardly Working, em Fort Lauderdale. Mas ele não foi à Flórida somente a trabalho.
I never had what you might call a bachelor pad. So before starting Hardly Working, I got a bachelor pad right on the bay in Miami. Penthouse. I put $1.5 million in it and built a bachelor pad. I mean, it was something. The bar was 22 feet long, just for entertaining. I mean, I did it right.
O casamento de Jerry estava acabando e ele estava pronto para ser solteiro novamente, mas durante a produção de Hardly Working, ele conheceu uma mulher que mudou sua vida.
I wrote a sequence right after Saturday Night Fever. So I get a cattle call in Florida. My staff gets me a disco out there that's filled with like 800 people. Way in the middle, I see this one gal moving like she was a snake. I'd never seen body movement like that. What a dancer. I said, get her in wardrobe, get her in makeup, and let's do it.
A jovem era uma dançarina da Carolina do Norte chamada Sandy Pitnick.
And we went to this lovely, lovely French restaurant. And we never ate anything. It was that quick. We're drinking wine, and we just could not unlock our eyes.
Jerry Lewis, o astro internacional, se apaixonou. Sandy o acompanhou durante a produção de Hardly Working. A imprensa teve o que falar.
Of course, it led to a lot of friction with him and Patty. She found out about it, blew a stack, you know. What else is new in Hollywood? But they had a long, long marriage. They stayed together. He knew that she was a great person in his life. But he met someone else.
Em setembro de 80, Pat Lewis pediu o divórcio.
We agreed that it was in the best interest of everybody, and it had gone a long time. 36 years is a long time. And when I married her, I was 17 and a half.
Regret? Yeah, I guess so. But something else entered the picture, and that was, he was in love, again.
Jerry passou por um momento emocionante. Em novembro de 80, Danny Lewis faleceu. Na época, Harry Klug escrevia a biografia de Jerry e foi ao funeral de Danny Lewis.
I saw the tear slowly course down his cheek as he looked at the grave.
Danny Lewis foi enterrado em Las Vegas. Jerry seguiu em frente. Naquele ano, Hardly Working foi lançado na Europa. O filme foi um sucesso. Foi um dos filmes mais populares na França. Apesar do sucesso, ninguém queria distribuir o filme nos Estados Unidos.
I really turned my back on the picture business, really believing they would all suffer desperately. Nobody cared.
Em 81, quase 2 anos depois de Hardly Working ficar pronto, a 20th Century Fox distribuiu o filme nos Estados Unidos. O filme chegou ao primeiro lugar em abril. Hardly Working rendeu $50 milhões nos Estados Unidos. Os críticos ficaram chocados e Jerry Lewis estava de volta.
I told Jerry once, you know, you're going to get critics all over the place. But remember one thing, there's not one statue of a critic. He said, I like that, Charlie.
Em 82, o diretor Martin Scorsese preparava um novo filme, The King of Comedy.
Marty Scorsese came to me and asked me to read the script. He said, a friend of mine is a big fan of yours, he'd like your opinion. And I read the script, and I said, you're talking about Bobby De Niro? He said, yeah. I said, it's a marvelous script, it's great for him. He said, well, wouldn't it be great for you?
Scorsese escalou Lewis como o apresentador Jerry Langford, tendo Robert De Niro como fã obcecado chamado Robert Pupkin.
Jerry Lewis, I don't think anybody really has seen him in this manner before. He's got a very wonderful, I think, quite a beautiful dramatic performance.
A comediante Sandra Bernard participou do filme.
Marty was trying to, kind of highlight the three different, psyches and generations of characters. And, I was very good at improvising. De Niro was, extremely technical, and Jerry Lewis is an icon.
Mas o ícone precisou se ajustar ao estilo diferente de filmagem.
Jerry has a lot of opinions, and I don't think he always liked the way things were handled on the set. Scorsese's a very improvisational director, and it's a little bit disconcerting when somebody else who always has their own vision is like, constantly putting in their 2 cents.
It was wonderful. I mean, I got my first critical acclaim in this industry doing that movie. And I didn't do anything. I showed up, put on the makeup, dressed up, stood on the mark, said the words.
All right, look, pal. I gotta tell you, this is a crazy business, but it's not unlike any other business. There are ground rules. And you don't just walk onto a network show without experience. Now, I know it's an old hackneyed expression, but it happens to be the truth. You've got to start at the bottom.
I know, that's where I am, at the bottom.
That's a perfect place to start.
I know.
King of Comedy foi lançado em 83. A escalação de Jerry Lewis foi um tiro certo, e Jerry recebeu as melhores críticas de sua carreira.
What a performance! Performance, my ass! I didn't do anything but just be me.
A seguir, Jerry vê a morte de perto.
And he leaned over to me and said, you'll be dead in 15 minutes unless we get in there.
Jerry Lewis. No início dos anos 80, Jerry Lewis voltou de forma diferente em The King of the Comedy. Jerry também tinha uma nova mulher em sua vida. Apesar da boa sorte, o comediante de 56 anos sofria problemas de saúde. O corpo de Jerry parecia estar rindo por último. Em dezembro de 82, Jerry sentiu dores no peito e foi levado para o hospital, onde sofreu um ataque cardíaco. O amigo de Jerry, o Dr. Michael DeBake, disse a Lewis que ele precisava de uma ponte de safena.
I went into catatonic fear. You're going to open my chest with a Black & Decker. You're going to put retractors in, open it 9 to 10 inches, take my heart out, put it on my shoulder, fix whatever arteries are. You want me to sign this paper that tells you can do that? Screw you. And he leaned over to me and said, you'll be dead in 15 minutes unless we get in there. I said, give me the paper. I signed the paper.
Jerry se recuperou da cirurgia com Sandy Pitnick ao seu lado. No dia 13 de fevereiro de 83, eles se casaram na Flórida.
It was so perfect. I mean, the better man that I am, that I alluded to, is always going to be the woman behind the man. Always.
Mas Jerry logo sofreria mais. A mãe dele faleceu do coração em Las Vegas. Ela foi enterrada ao lado do marido na primavera de 83. A recuperação de Jerry não impediu de voltar a trabalhar. Naquele ano, ele terminou o filme Smorgasbord. O filme mostrava a comédia pouco convencional de Jerry. O filme foi um sucesso na Europa, mas o público americano não se interessou.
I don't think Jerry Lewis has ever really had a proper attention for how great he is. He may have it in France. They understand what a great star he is in movies.
He thought ahead all the time. And I think that's why he was revered in France. And a lot of filmmakers who hate to admit it know that he was pretty much of a genius.
Em janeiro de 84, Jerry recebeu o título de comandante da Ordem Francesa de Artes e Letras, a mais alta honraria cultural do país. 2 meses depois, Jerry entrou para a Legião da Honra da França por suas obras de caridade.
So I'm standing there before the court, and they're telling me that this is not just an award, but it is the highest award that this country can bestow on anyone. It's a small, miniature Legion of Honor with the little ribbon and the little gold disc, and it's got a pin in it like that. He goes and he puts it in. Ho! Ho! Oh, ho! And they're hysterical, and he's trying to get it out now. It was stuck in the lapel. It's not sticking me really, but I'm playing it. Whoa, that hurts. So that is an award I'll remember this award from hiding all of my life.
Jerry continuou suas obras de caridade nos anos 80, mas houve rumores de desistência. Grupos de protesto acusaram Jerry de pedir piedade e de mostrar pacientes de distrofia muscular como pessoas incapacitadas.
Anyone who's given as much time and energy to a cause as Jerry has given to the Muscular Dystrophy Association, it's devastating to be criticized for that work. And Jerry has felt that way.
Jerry e sua obra de caridade foram temas de debate, mas em 87 Jerry concentrou as atenções em um velho amigo. O filho de Jean Paul Martin, foi morto em um acidente aéreo na Califórnia.
At the funeral, Jerry decided to take a shot at least going there in memory and in respect for a tragic loss.
Dean calls and says, they told me you were there today. He said, I can't tell you what that means to me. I said, I know what it means. And then I heard him cry for the first time. And I was on the phone with him for like 90 minutes. He always called me preacher when I was going to tell him about what's happening in his life and so on. He said, preacher, this is one thing. I said, Dean, I know you. You're going to die from this. You're going to let it take you and you're going to die.
A seguir.
I know that he had to be just torn apart when Dean went.
Jerry Lewis. Nos anos 80, Jerry Lewis achou que tinha tudo. Ele brigou com Hollywood e enfrentou polêmicas e problemas pessoais. Chegando aos 70 anos, ele continuava forte, mas ainda não estava fora de perigo. Jerry Lewis se dedicava à vida ao lado da esposa, Sandy, e o casal tentou ter um filho juntos. Sandy sofreu 3 abortos involuntários. Eles procuraram outras opções.
I said, sweetheart, let's adopt a baby.
Em março de 92, Jerry e Sandy adotaram uma menina chamada Danielle Sarah.
I'm holding her in my arms, and the drops of tears on the baby's forehead were so large that they spread and covered my shirt. That's how big those tears of happiness were.
I mean, that was a big thing to him. He finally had unconditional love.
Having 6 sons, it's a lot of children. Never had anything quite like this. And they all mentioned, and they got good memories. We never got any of that. I said, it's different.
His daughter has completely captivated him. He talks almost with reverence. It's very sweet. It's very sweet to hear.
You know, I was at a place then where, you know, what else is going to happen? And then to find that your life opens up like it's just beginning.
Jerry sentiu-se revigorado. Naquele ano, uma polêmica envolveu o comediante. Um grupo de pacientes de distrofia muscular denominado Órfãos do Jerry atacou Lewis por seus métodos como diretor nacional da MDA. Jerry revidou.
With Jerry, you take the good and the bad. Sometimes he shoots his mouth off, sometimes he says things he shouldn't.
O produtor da maratona televisiva Lee Miller.
First thing that comes into his mind, he says, always. His line is always pure, and there is no censorship. He says what he believes, what his heart tells him.
There were groups that thought that I was using the pity card. Really. I bought them the wheelchairs they're in. And they struck against me.
Os defensores de Jerry logo surgiram.
What the hell else do you want? Besides what he's done. I don't even have to say anything. He is doing something, and he did something for the children. Period. Case closed. God damn it, that's it.
Polêmica ou não, Jerry ajudou muito os seus meninos. Desde que ele participou, a maratona televisiva já arrecadou mais de $1 bilhão.
He's been asked many, many times to make that phone call. There's a child in a hospital. They're not going to make it. This is the end. They would love to be able to say hi to Jerry Lewis. It's their last wish. And, over the years, countless times, Jerry's done it. And it's taken a real emotional toll on him.
Como uma das maiores celebridades do mundo, Jerry tentou esconder o lado negro da fama. Nos anos 90, ele foi vítima de um maníaco chamado Gary Benson. Em 95, Benson foi preso e se declarou culpado de perseguição. Ele recebeu uma sentença de 6 anos de prisão.
Finally put him in jail. He died. I never thought I'd be able to say, was I glad a man died?
Na primavera de 95, Jerry voltou aos palcos na nova versão de Damn Yankees. Aos 69 anos, Jerry realizou o sonho de se apresentar na Broadway.
That audience stood up. It was like they were seeing something for the last time in their lives. It was really emotional. And I could hear my father's voice, "Now you got it, kid." Because he had told me all through the years, "You ain't got it yet. I'm just sorry that he died and didn't see that I finally did Broadway." But I did hear his voice that night. "You got it now, kid."
He seemed very happy, and the show was a success, and he was full of himself as he used to be, and it was great.
Em novembro de 95, em turnê com Damn Yankees, Jerry conheceu o Dr. Clifford Kuhn, professor de psiquiatria na Universidade de Louisville. Os dois se uniram para uma série de seminários chamados de Riso e Cura. Jerry falava sobre o humor na manutenção de uma vida saudável.
People walked away saying, "Wow, I would have never expected that much from this man. He created a new fan club right there for a different reason. They call it an academic fan club."
Jerry revigorou a vida, mas os problemas estavam à espreita. No Natal de 95, Jim Martin faleceu. Os dois tinham um elo incomum e uma história turbulenta, mas fizeram as pazes.
I saw pictures of him in the paper. I saw he was letting himself go. He wasn't caring, and he was dying.
Jerry was in touch with Dean all the way up to the end when Dean passed away.
I know it affected him deeply. I know that he had to be just torn apart when Dean went.
Jim faleceu e Jerry logo sofreria mais problemas de saúde. Em 2000, enquanto se apresentava na Austrália, Jerry desmaiou no hotel e foi levado ao hospital. Os médicos suspeitaram de meningite.
Bad headache, awful headache, balance problems, and suffice it to say, he was laid up for a while. They had to cancel that tour.
Na primavera seguinte, Jerry foi hospitalizado com pneumonia. Enquanto se recuperava, Lewis foi diagnosticado com fibrose pulmonária. Ele passou a tomar um esteroide chamado prednisone para o tratamento, mas a droga traz sérios efeitos colaterais.
Now, he has had lifelong pain, but when you take steroids, for one thing, you pay the price in another area, and it actually intensified his chronic pain when he was on the steroids.
Os esteroides ajudavam Jerry a respirar, mas em 2002 a dor nas costas que o assombrou por anos tornou-se insuportável. Lewis estava sofrendo e só via uma solução drástica.
He told me that it was so bad that he really thought he was on his way.
I had the gun on my bathroom cabinet, and it was so bad that you get irrational. But I had it there, and I'm looking at it, and thank God Danny ran in, She wanted to tell me about her homework. And I put her in my arms. I put that sucker away. Yeah, you can get pretty close.
O velho amigo de Jerry, o Dr. DeBake, surgiu com uma ideia. Em abril de 2002, Lewis sofreu uma cirurgia para implantar um aparelho que estimularia a coluna espinhal e diminuiria a dor.
If I want it off, I kill it. If I want it on, I put it on. And it also opens my garage door.
A seguir, o retorno.
The only way you're going to stop him is to run him over with a truck. That's the only way you'll be able to stop him.
Jerry? Depois de 50 anos no showbiz, Jerry Lewis era uma lenda da comédia. Lewis sofria problemas de saúde, mas sempre buscava uma risada. Em 2001, Jerry passou a tomar um esteroide para tratar uma fibrose pulmonar. A droga causou um aumento de peso enorme, surpreendendo os que se lembravam do jovem comediante magro chamado Jerry Lewis.
You better have a sense of humor, because I got out of the shower this morning, I looked in the full-length mirror, and I got hysterical. I looked like a Jew sumo. I'm going to Japan. I could beat half those guys the way I look. So I'm standing there laughing at myself, which got me through it, because it's terrible.
Em setembro de 2002, Jerry estava pronto para apresentar a maratona televisiva anual.
All of my staff and crew were very concerned about how I looked, how I was feeling. They thought because of how I looked, I was feeling that. So I sat them all down on the Friday night production meeting, which we have prior to the Sunday air, and I said, I'm going to ask you a question. Who in this group can tell me that they remember the day that I said, quote, I will only help my kids if I look good, end quote? Anyone? It got very quiet. Did anyone ever hear me say that? Since I've never said that, it's a go.
I shall pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again.
He does not let any health problem or any other kind of a problem slow him down. The only way you're going to stop him is to run him over with a truck. That's the only way you'll be able to stop him. And he's even said, until his last breath, he will be fighting to beat muscular dystrophy.
Jerry Lewis já foi muitas coisas para muitas pessoas. O gênio da comédia, um egomaníaco, um cineasta inovador e um destinado perfeccionista.
I can sit here and tell you the dark side. He's got a short fuse. He's an egomaniac. He has to do it his way. He's a control freak. He's difficult. I know about all that stuff. And all of it is probably true. But I always say to people, please judge me on a series of performances, not one.
He's an all-purpose offender, I guess. I mean, he stepped on some toes everywhere. But you don't get to be where Jerry Lewis is without stepping on somebody's toes somewhere.
Agora, aos 70 anos, Jerry quer ser lembrado como uma coisa.
Danny's dad. Without question. See, I have a philosophy about when people are asked, how would you like to be remembered? Before Danny, I used to say, I don't want to be remembered. Tell me now. Tell me while I'm here. If my daughter can go into a library and call up something on her dad that makes her proud, God almighty, what a good life.
Jerry Lewis teve uma história colorida e às vezes dolorosa em Hollywood. Seu estilo de comédia não é para qualquer um, mas seu impacto e influência serão sentidos para sempre.
He's one of the funniest, most professional people who ever lived.
He just reached across and brought this zaniness. Well, it's like Charlie Chaplin. You think of the clown, you think of the tramp, and you think of the pathos in this man.
A comic starts here He goes up here to the epitome for 10 years, and then he goes away. I've gone here, went there, stayed there, came here, went there, and I've been on this kind of an up and down, a longevity that not too many performers could say they had. 72 years of being in front of the public? That's about 62 more than you're supposed to have. But I cheated. I started at 5.
His comic heritage is extraordinary. He's had a tremendous impact on comedy in the second half of the 20th century. The kind of over-the-top humor that people like now started with Jerry Lewis. It was outrageous humor, but the core of it was this real human kid in everybody. There's just no question, Jerry Lewis is a comic genius.
I really like what I am. I'm very proud of what I've accomplished. I have tremendous esteem and great pride. Hey, it takes a lifetime to be able to say it. More importantly, it takes almost as long to believe it.